Back here, you'll never be able to see it. You have to reach by and turn it on. Okay, machine's on, it's powered up. This machine is plugged into the wall right here, so if we do have to unplug it, we can do so. Some are actually hardwired in. This one's just plugged into 120. I've got two tires here I want to show you. One's aluminum and one's steel. The reason I have the steel one here is, see the dirt right here in this tire? Okay, now if I just kind of push that dirt around and then shake it down, that right there is going to have this tire so far out of balance with all this dirt. So it's important that you actually take a hose, wash these tires off, and check for defects, make sure everything's good. Always remove the weights before you balance a tire. Unless you're diagnosing a problem, then you want to see if it's in balance or not. That's a different lesson. Okay, so there's one weight here, and that's appropriate. There's no other weights on that side of the rim. Okay, and it's no good to have multiple weights all over the rim. However, with that said, see here, there's 3 weights, okay? So when you add this one, this looks like a 1 ounce, and maybe a quarter. So if we have 2 1/4 ounces here, whoever balanced this didn't have a 2 1/4 ounce weight, it's okay to add them together and put it in one spot. It's inappropriate to then kind of readjust and put one here and put one there to find your true balance. There's techniques that we use to slide the weight up and down towards 12 o'clock, which I'll explain more in a minute, okay? So this tire here, and again, we're not going to be banging down and balancing this up in complete. We're just going to kind of give you a quick little demo, a mock-up. The reason I've picked an aluminum rim right now is that when you look at the 2 rim flanges, most steels are quite standard and it's a normal flange on the weight. Aluminums, there must be about 7 or 8, maybe 9 different styles of little clips to hold the lead weight on. I've got one on here that fits right nice, and I'm going to show you how to take that off with a tool in a second. But you have to understand, if you're doing aluminum mags, you really do have to take a measurement of the flange, and sometimes the outside and the inside are actually different. Okay, so I come over to the tire machine right here, bend with your knees, watch your back, and we slide it in like that. I've actually pre-selected a cone that fits in the back of this one, and back here is a spring-loaded set. Okay, so I put this in, slide it over, take this, and then our nut here, we slide on. Okay, I give it a slow little spin just to make sure it's true, okay, and I'm happy with that. This balancer is quite nice, very basic to use. There's an arm back here, and if you want to come in and have a look at this arm, it's going to be a little tricky for you guys to see. All we have to do is slide this part here up and touch where the weights go, okay, and that'll give me an automatic set of how wide the tire is, the rim is, and the setback to the rim from the machine. So the balancer needs to know that. So if I come off this in one fluid motion, and it made a little beep, you probably didn't hear it on the camera, it told us exactly how wide and how offset the rim is. I then take this measuring tool here, and it's measured in inches, and this tells me exactly how wide the rim is, and we put it where the weights go. Okay, so I'm going to come across this way, and you'll see right here where it's in between 7 and 6, so it's 6.5. We come to the machine right here, and you have your arrows. This is 5.7, and we want 6.5, and there it is right there. And it even tells you the 2 little dots that represents the cross section of the rim, and it shows you what you're doing. All you do then is press enter. Okay. And this is the part where I want to show you. See where this weight is here? This is the proper wheel weight hammer. Okay. So there's a tool here. We can actually pinch weights. We can squeeze the clip together, or we can hit, or we can actually take them off. Okay. So right now we're going to take them off. The habit you want to use is you give it a couple of taps first, and then you put it in a little hole there, and then you manipulate it over, and then it slides over and it comes off like that. These weights contain lead, okay, so obviously no chewing on these things. Don't be doing anything silly. And you'll notice that the clip right there, the cross side view of it, it's quite large on that one. And then if I show you a standard, this is a used standard, and see how small the clip is right there? This one's small, and it goes on most of steel rims, and this one's big. There's actually some that are huge, and I'll show you this one, our blue category. Do you see how big that is? Okay, the clip is just massive. Okay, so you really have to line those clips up. So now we've got all the wheels, the weights off. okay, and the weight's off on both sides. All we do is put the hood down. Be careful, this thing spins. You don't want to have anybody in your work surface. And if it doesn't start up right away, there's a start button here, and then you just press start. Okay, you'll see the wheel spinning around under there. It's a low speed. And now we've got this part right here. And this is what I want to show you. I'm going to lift the hood back up, and we're not going to actually get into balancing this right now. The video would just take too long. So it says on this side of the screen, which represents this side of the rim, it's 3/4 of an ounce light. Okay, so this is what it means. I move the tire around until I line up those dots, and all 4 dots go right there. And then on the right side of the rim, it's going to need 3/4 of an ounce. I would go then take a weight of 3/4 of an ounce. This one's actually 175, but if it was 3/4, I would take it right at the 12 o'clock mark, and it would require 3/4 of an ounce right there, and I would tap it on. Okay, because we can add weight to a rim, we can't take weight away. So the job of the balancer is to tell us where the lightest part of the rim is, so we can add weight to make sure we spin this tire up nice and true. And so the same thing happens over here. We spin it. We line those dots up, and this represents the inside of the rim, and so right at 12 o'clock we put our 3/4 weight down. This tire balancer is really cool. It does 2 types of balancing. It does dynamic and static. Static means that it basically electronically cuts the wheel in half this way and balances this side to this side. Dynamic, it electronically cuts the tire this way and it balances this side to this side. Okay, so not only does it balance on the hop, it also controls the shimmy and the vibration this way that a dynamic tire will be out of balance. Okay, so that's just a quick little overview on how this machine works. Basically, if I would have put my 3/4 weights on, I would have put it back down, and then I press start, and then I'm looking for zeros. And when the zeros come up, the tire's balanced. It's critical that when you put these weights on, it's important that they go on proper. And if it goes on too easy, it will end up flying off the car and it could hurt someone. Okay, so make sure when you do put the weights on, they actually attach the rim really well, and we're good to go. Okay, any questions, please see your teacher. Make sure you show up for the lesson today on how to use this tire machine, and you get your sign off, and then you're allowed to use it later.